It is not the God who gives all to the self. We feel that we need to liberate those who do not share our ideals. You know, in the Middle East and in the East and some other countries, they call the United States the Great Satan. Wonder why? I wonder why. They call us the Great Satan because we want to import MTV. We want to import skinny jeans and cut off midriffs. We do. They look at our society that allows for these atrocities and abominations, and they say, keep them. We don't need that here. And we look at them and we say they are oppressed. Are they? Now please don't misunderstand. I'm not talking about dictatorships or communism or anything. I'm not talking politically. I'm talking morally. Morally. That they look at us and they say, well, you all have opened up Pandora's box, and you're never going to get all that stuff back in again. Once you let the horses out of the barn, you can't get them back. And we are. And it's just getting worse and worse all the time. We have to be so careful with that. And so what is the God that we are worshiping? Because the devil says, if you worship me, I'll give you whatever you want. And what are we saying in our world? We're saying, you can get whatever you want. You can get whatever you want. Unless you don't worship him. Because if you worship him, you're going to have to do without. You don't get whatever you want. That's sacrifice. But you know what? You have the pain now, you have the pleasure later, or you can choose the alternative. The seeming pleasure now and the pain later. It's up to us. Finally, the third temptation that Jesus goes through. Throw yourself down and God will lift you up. He will charge his angels lest you strike your foot against a stone. Jesus says, do not put the Lord your God to the test, but we do. Yeah, when our life is terrible, then it's God's fault, and we don't pray to him. When life is good, I might thank him, but it's true. God, if you do this for me, then I will do this for you. Or God, if you really loved me, you would make this easy for me. I mean, come on. You talk about God entrusted Mary and Joseph with his son. If he's going to make it easy on anybody, he'd make it easy on them. Go ahead, go back and read the Christmas story and see what you think. It's true. And so we put God to the test time and time and time again. If I do this for you, then you really need to do this for me, Lord. It's the least you can do for me. Because I deserve it. And we're falling into his trap. Those are the trials and the temptations of the diabolos, the tempter. Turn these stones into bread. It's all about me and what's best for me, when I want it, where I want it, how I want it. The second one, worship me and I'll give you everything. As long as we're not faithful to God, we're not close to God, we'll have everything and we'll have nothing. And finally, put God to the test. If he loves you, he'll do what you want him to do. The second name he's given is Satan, the accuser. And this is more, if you forgive the pun, diabolical, because it's very subtle. The accuser is the one that accuses us. You will never be good enough. You will never quit what you're doing. You cannot beat this thing. You're a terrible father or mother. You're a terrible child. You cannot possibly get to heaven. God doesn't love you. God cannot forgive you. The devil would tempt many of you tonight to believe that you should have stayed with your children instead of being here. And that you're a terrible mother or father because you have them being babysat or you left them home. That's the evil one. It is the evil one. Because you as parents and grandparents, as teachers and mentors, you need time to be with God too. It's important to grow close to God. If you're ready to go to confession and traffic's bad, it's pouring down rain, all these things that can prevent us from doing that, and they will. They will. Be aware of it, because it will happen. It happens time and time again. And sometimes in the name of charity. Oh, I got to do this thing for my friend. I was going to go to confession, but let me take care of this. Take care of reconciliation, and your friend will thank you for it. because you will treat them differently than you would have otherwise. We have to be careful because the devil is so powerful. And if we are not seeing his gross displays of power, quite possibly it's because we are not close enough to God. But again, I give you the warning. It's not only the legions of angels, it's also a target. You can take this with you tonight and pin it to your back if you want to get closer to God. But we expect it then. We can expect it. Jesus was driven into the desert. He expected the evil one. Something that is more powerful than exorcism is the sacrament of reconciliation. Now, mind you, with someone who is possessed, they require an exorcism. But that is only going to work in cooperation with reconciliation. Because the devil fears a soul that is filled with grace. Imagine that. Us natural beings can strike fear into a supernatural one. If our souls are filled with grace, if we frequent the sacraments, then we do not need to be afraid. And as we look at these angels, you remember that each of us was assigned a guardian angel. And when we think of our guardian angel, we might be thinking of that fat little Hummel we put up in the windowsill. Looks kind of like a snowman with wings. That is not your guardian angel. Your guardian angel is a beast. A beast that is still connected to God. How is it that an archangel could throw a great seraph out of heaven? Little tiny archangel throwing this giant Lucifer out of heaven. Because Lucifer was no longer connected to God, and the archangel was. And so our guardian angels are beasts, because they are connected to what gives them beauty and strength and goodness. And so we pray and ask for their assistance as well. And finally, some advice from Thérèse of Lisieux. She would say when the devil would approach her, she would run into the arms of her Jesus. And so too should we. Tonight, as we close the service, I'm going to offer a closing prayer, and I will have you pray that with me. It's on the back of the sheet with all the designs. It's a very powerful prayer, and people will often ask me if I'm tormented at night, if I have trouble sleeping, if I feel like I'm being oppressed, what do I do? And I say, pray this prayer. It's one of those that is certainly worth memorizing. And tomorrow night we have the mission beginning again at 7 o'clock, and Father Wayne will be the celebrant. And then finally the third night on Tuesday, again I'll be the celebrant for the mission beginning at 7 o'clock.